Welcome to Speak Out Unfiltered.
Father, we just thank you today, Lord. We thank you for your blessings upon Grenada, blessings, oh God, to all the listeners and all the contribution. We pray, Lord, that you're going to keep us in your lovely hand, with all of us, oh God, to enter into a new year. And I thank you for doing it today. In Jesus' precious name.
Bringing the hot topics to you.
Could we please be informed that there are no bad children, it's just bad parents. That is the reason that children is only bad parents.
Bad parents.
Working together.
Well, the amount of transformation I see transforming around Carriacou with long life, health, and strength, man. One.
That's what you want to know, right?
Yes, because I'm looking forward for big things, as in Jamaica say, big things are going on for 2024.
Connecting the dots.
I want to encourage the one man to continue with his one-man men.
Yes,
exactly. Because it's the benefit of the country. What did he do for Carriacou? All these things that he's saying, whenever they make statements, the recording is there. You know, we in the media, we have it.
Working together.
Yes, so I want to grade him pursuant to senior Cambridge, so to speak. I want to give him A+.
Speak Out Unfiltered.
It's always an opportunity that I look forward to when we can discuss and look at the issues that affect us together as a people.
So the budget was really a good budget. The government is doing a whole lot. They're doing for the people. They open the eyes of the people. This budget is the best budget I heard since after the revolution. I never heard a budget good like that, and it's for the people, a people's budget you call that. I am very pleased with this government.
Speak Out Unfiltered. The opinions and ideologies expressed on this program, Speak Out Unfiltered, it's the views of its rightful owners and not of Vibes FM 101.3. Speak Out Unfiltered.
Every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Unfiltered. And I mean it.
And it's just about time for me to say good morning again to you right here on Vibes FM. Welcome to the program Speak Out Unfiltered for today, Thursday. We're looking at the 19th day of September. Good morning to the trial and state of Fitimatni, Carriacou, Grenada. Good morning. What about our neighbors next door, St. Vincent and the Grenadines as well? Good morning to you. And our listeners on Facebook, good morning. We want to welcome you. Those of you on the internet, good morning. And you on YouTube as well, good morning to you. Class has begun. As class begins, we want to remind you that you can always reach us if you want to participate in the program. And our telephone 403-0101-40 and 458-194. 458-1914. As always, we always appreciate you participating in our program, giving your views, your ideas, your concerns, whatever is happening here on Speak Out Unfiltered. A reminder, it's your program. So let me move over right now to Koi, who's here, ready and set to go. Koi, good morning. What's up? You're smiling already.
Well, I have to smile.
Class has begun.
Yes. You know, when I was going to school in Mount Pleasant Government School, one of the things that you used to tell us that class is about to start is the whistle.
Yeah.
The whistle, only whistle blow. Whatever you're doing, however position you are in.
The first whistle.
Yeah, the first whistle.
You stop.
You
freeze.
Right. And then the second one, it releases you. So yeah, I mean,
talking about the whistle, let me say quickly. I used to look for when the teacher or the principal, whoever is going to blow the whistle, you know.
Watching
And
them.
Yeah, I'm watching them because I want to find myself in an awkward position so that everybody would laugh.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah. But yes, classes started and the whistle has been blown. And I am in this position now. I will want you to blow another whistle so you could release me from this seizure.
All right. All right.
What
So
a-
we say class has begun.
Yes.
I see my phone's already lighting up. But let me try to take the first call
Yes.
before we get into it, the meat of things, whatever. Vibes FM caller, you live, caller, calling for the program.
Good morning,
Yes, good morning. Yes, yes, go,
Mr. King.
yes, yeah. You're live on Vibes FM. Yeah.
I realized
Yes. Okay.
I've been looking for you for a minute, but I'm thankful to God that I find it this morning. I just want to say, God bless you. Thank you for letting us be open.
Yeah.
Thank you for whatever you have done
Mm-hmm.
to make us have class in Mount Pleasant. Thank Mr. Coy for his labor of love. We continue to listen.
Yeah.
Thank you for your response yesterday to my text. Have a great day, man. Have a great program.
Yes.
Before you go,
Love yourself.
before you go, hold on. You are one of those who
Yes.
used to obey the whistle when Mr. Bascom blew it, right?
No.
Uh-huh.
When I come late, the whistle don't blow already. So I will either get licked. And I don't want to call somebody name, but you know my big nephew. He
Yeah.
didn't go to school on Monday. He
Uh-huh.
went on the bay.
Yes.
And when he came to school Tuesday, he still get licked
I know.
for going on the bay because one of all went and tell Mr. Bascom that he went on the bay. That wasn't very nice, you know, Kim.
Well,
that was not very nice.
No, you see what you see. We sometimes didn't know what we were really doing, you know, because it was all fun, being at school was fun. So, you go and tell on somebody and you see they get licks and you start to laugh.
But
yes.
we should never have those days again.
Yeah, no. Those
Listen,
are
whatever we did in those days was in ignorance. We didn't know better.
yeah.
But people in our days, they're not appreciated for what they received. They're not thankful to God
Yes.
who caused it to be an open door
Right.
for us to have whatever we have.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I look forward to you to share your knowledge to
Yeah.
check in.
Right.
To the diaspora, we look forward for persons as my friend who do not remember me, Milton Coy.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
When he was Milton Coy. But we thank God for vibes and for what you are doing.
Yeah.
Continue to do what you're doing, my friend,
Okay.
and God
Yes.
bless you.
All right. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Bye-bye.
Love you,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Bye-bye now. Yes. Very nice going back into those.
Yeah,
old days,
yeah. I mean, it's interesting that we started this discussion today, Speak Out, with that kind of thinking and understanding. And it's important that we can look back and reminisce and think about all those things and pass that on because they meant a lot of things to us.
Yeah.
As you just said, we may not have understood what we were doing at the time.
Yeah.
We laugh when we see somebody
Get
getting licks. We laugh, and but it meant a lot to us in terms of the whole bringing us together and
Yeah.
understanding that we are part of each other.
Yeah.
The family, the community spirit that existed then. The last caller said it. We wouldn't go back to those days. In fact, while he was speaking, I was saying, boys, we can't go back to that. We have TikTok now.
Yes.
We have all kinds of apps now.
Yeah.
So we don't get that personal touch and
Yeah,
that connection,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. So, but
Mhm.
but I think it's our duty and responsibility, Kim, to ensure that our this generation that we are part of understand the importance of togetherness.
Yeah, well, togetherness is so important, and this is something that we ought to cherish too,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
try to
And
maintain.
And not only cherish, Kim, because we see there has been in recent years there has been many efforts to kind of separate that kind of experience. People try to divide. There's a thing called divide and rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to now resist that and understand that we are all together. We are all part of each other. and we can, go forward together.
Well, that's what we have to do, eh? But I like the idea of going back to those days. I would never forget my school days. Never
School
forget
days
my
are
school days.
school days are happy days.
Yeah. And the discipline that was instilled in us, it still remains. And I wish we could get a lot more of that now, as in our younger generation now, because I've gone, in my view, out of control, and you don't find them, doing the things that we used to do, or doing the things that are right to anyway, to make sure that we all stay in line. But anyway, that's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be. Okay. Okay, let's continue in our discussion, and we're talking about schools. We're talking about schools right now, and schools will be opening very soon.
Yes, Monday. In fact, 2 Mondays from now.
Yes.
Monday coming, and then following Monday. Is it 30th? I think.
The 30th.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and there has been so many kind of issues put into the European schools, and we don't need to really rehash that and go over, because we understand clearly. I think by now we all should understand that the effects, the experience of Hurricane Beryl would have thrown things on its head, and so many things, So I think the issue now is to ensure that the necessary things are in place. Schools physically now.
Yeah.
The structure has to be prepared and ready, and we know, and we're not just trying to pretend here. We know that it's a challenge with the schools, and we were told yesterday, was it the press conference? That they are working to ensure, and when the schools are not physically ready. In fact, for example, in Dover, I mean, we know that Dover was just gone. Yeah.
But in the press conference, as a matter of fact, I'll pay to keep in just a little while. We're going to hear the plans that are in place for places like Dover in particular, Mount Pleasant.
And
they were singled out. A lot of damage. The others, with the shelters were, they were used as shelters. Coming back to normal now. So most likely we'll be able to get an update and let people know exactly what to expect. But at this point in time, before I go into the clip, you notice to my left, Secretary just joined us just a while ago. Okay, I'm going to
to your left.
To your left, I said. Okay. To my right. Okay. She just joined us, and I know she's anticipating school as well. Let me say good morning to you. How are you doing? Your microphone is on, so whatever you see now will be live on air. Okay. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Mr. Mills. I'm okay.
All right. Okay. You have a son. You will be going to school, right?
Yes, a 3-year-old son.
Yes, and you'll be going to school. At the end of the month, the 30th.
Yes.
Yes.
The
tell me though, how excited you are, how excited he is, and what kind of preparations that you have in place right now, or you are making to make sure that he gets an education.
Well, since school closed, he was anticipating the reopening back of school.
Oh, so he likes school? Eh?
Yes, he loves school.
Okay, all right, that's nice.
Every day he wakes up, even on Saturday and Sunday, he was like, "Mommy, I want to go to school." So he's excited. He's asking me every day, "Mommy, when am I going back to school?" And I would have to keep on telling him, "Not yet, Momo, not yet."
Okay.
So the preparation in which that I had made, it started after the hurricane, because after the hurricane, a lot of us had been affected. And in rebuilding and stuff, it was a lot, because it's like we just had to start back from scratch.
Yeah.
And preparing him for school was a bit difficult, but we thank God.
Yeah, you're making.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so easy, but I'm getting there.
Well, I'm glad to hear you getting there, because I know that in some instances, I don't know if that applied to you, but some of the parents were telling me that during the passage of Beryl, they lost some of the uniforms that they had.
Yes. Some of the uniforms was damaged because of so much water and stuff that was coming into the house. It was a lot. So I couldn't really focus on saving anything like that, but just securing lives. So,
okay. Well, that's very good. So at least you're in a position now where you're anticipating, he's anticipating, and they are getting ready to go back to school because, as normal, kids always like to be around the peers,
Yes,
and
yes,
to have a little bit of a play and things like that, right?
yes.
So that is part of it, yeah. So you say you're ready, right?
I'm not fully ready as
Yeah,
yet.
but
Because of the fact that he's going to Hillsborough preschool, the shirts for the school, in particular for the boys, it have to be sewn. And because of the passing of Hurricane Beryl, it's very difficult to get seamstress on the island right now. So yeah.
Well, there's a shortage of skills in every area. Koy, as you very well know too, when it comes to rebuilding and stuff like that. There's a massive shortage in
every area,
every way you could think about it.
In material,
yes,
and both physical for houses and so on, and
Yeah.
I guess material for the school supplies and so on also
Right.
too. There's a shortage, and we have to take that into consideration in going forward. But of course, what I must say though, Kim, is that the administration here in Kaiku, the ministry here in Kaiku, they are doing the best. They are going all out to ensure that the shortage of materials, even labor,
Yeah.
that we deal with it and that we are able to do what we're supposed to do. So that has to also be taken as part of the whole process going forward. Shortages. Yeah.
Well, what I realized too, and I want to commend the parents in particular, is that they're making every effort to make sure that the kids get to school.
Yeah. They are
And get to-
concerned.
and they want to
supportive.
see them looking nice too, right?
Yes,
You
yes.
want to see your son looking nice, right?
Yes, but
Yeah.
taking into consideration, you have those that haven't reached the criteria of uniforms as yet. Sometimes I just wonder, would it be possible for some of the students to come with what they have?
Well, I think that was discussed earlier on, I don't think in this last press conference, but it was discussed that they would have some problems with uniforms. So it would be accepted, for a while for them to be in regular clothes,
Right, the regular uniforms.
until the uniforms are ready.
Okay.
Because I know the government normally gives some assistance in
Yes,
uniforms as well too.
They do.
And they were kind of late in that day and making sure that, so they were saying they will be excused, for a certain time, right?
I think during the press conference, they had announced that they have two sources here in Carriacou, and they might even be thinking about bringing up some others from Grenada to assist in these aspects of clothing of uniform. Sorry, yeah, and so they will be able. There'll be a late start in those areas, and even though that, I don't think the uniform is what make them learn.
No,
I think
I think
it's
part of discipline.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But this is not normal times, and,
Right.
and we may not have all the things that we need. But I think the attitude of children and parents at this time would go a long way in helping them to advance their education. So, until we get all that we need to have,
You got to work with what you have.
yeah, we got to work with what we have. But and so understand that education is also all about learning and understanding the different things. Kim, you are a teacher.
Yeah.
So learning is not always having the right color shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what you instill in the
kids. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. Learning is key.
It's key, and we have to. It's a process, if one day you go to school and you don't have the correct color shirt,
Yeah.
does that mean that you have to learn 2 by 2? No. You know what I mean? So is that all mixed up in the whole process?
But speaking about learning, I nowadays in education, well, we didn't have things like, well, right now they have tablets and they have all these cell phones and they have computers to work with, whatever. But we worked in our school, going to school with what we call a slate.
Yeah.
And every time I think about it is that you had to develop the skill to retain whatever was said to you each day and sort of memorize it, because that was the only way. There was nothing as revision, or you could go back and look at your notes. Someday you had to memorize that and keep it there, and some like 2 or 3 or 4 different subjects per day. And still you have to retain each and every all the information that was given in each subject area. So when the time comes for tests, exams,
Well, how is it doing?
but we did it, you know. We did it.
I mean, how is it doing? I mean, it's
it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
But that's all we had to work with. There was no notes going home with.
Because the slate you're using, if you're doing English,
yes, you use the slate when you finish you rub it off.
Rub it off.
And then you go to maths.
There's nothing you could save.
No, there was nothing like that.
But yet we used to pass.
Yes, because you see, we were trained, you know, to memorize. Because even when you do your tables, and I remember you used to say 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3, you know, 2 times 4, 2 times 5, you know, whatever. And we used to sing it sometime 5 2s are 10.
I guess the singing part 15, was an easy way to help us to remember.
Right, and there's rhymes and stuff like that, you know. So whenever you're going to do it, sometimes they would ask you 6 times 3. And some of my classmates would have to go back to 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, you know, before they get to the answer. Because that's the way they knew how to find it and to memorize it. But that's where we grew up. And it's amazing now. I mean, we could speak about it now, but our way of learning, I believe, you know, was just different to what's happening today. So
I know. I mean, we need
times
to
have changed.
Yeah, times have changed.
Yeah.
But now we don't have slates. We have laptop. We have what do you call it? They have all kind of names for it.
And I remember one time, you know, when I was doing some arithmetic, you know, and they give us some square root to do, you know.
Listen, hold on, kid.
Yeah.
In them days there was no arithmetic. It's maths.
Maths, okay.
Maths mean
maths with everything.
Everything
was maths. Okay. So we do we used to call it sums. You know, you're doing the sums, you know, and you have to go through and be accurate as much as possible to get to the right answer. And the worst part of it is sometimes when you go all the way down to the end, you made one slight error somewhere, and then you have to go back and track every line to make sure it's correct, so you could get it corrected. You know, get the correct answer at the end. You know, that was something as well.
Yeah, but it's interesting now we're talking about this level. At this level, we're talking about those issues back days, but life has to go on, and you know, we have to get to the place where we have to appreciate learning. And the younger ones who, whatever this situation, I guess the same thing happened when it was Janet.
Yeah.
You know, many years ago, some of us weren't even born yet.
Yeah.
But I'm saying we have to get back to the place where we have to overcome all these things. And still, for all, out of those days in the 50s, we saw a lot of people excelling.
In different areas.
In different areas.
Yeah.
So we should not allow this the experience to
be a factor.
thwart our progress. And so I want to appeal to the young ones. Listen, but you can come out of that to be a scholar. You can come out of that to be whatever you want to be. Just let's put our minds to it and make it happen.
Make a better student. Okay.
Yeah.
Now in the press conference, I'm going to play the clip, you know, the press conference. So those of you who did not hear what happened, and those of you who are eager to know what is happening, here it is.
Now I move to the second matter, the matter of the reopening of school in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And today I announced...
By the way, that's the Minister of Education. Now, let me just make them know, you know, David Andrew, right?
Yeah.
David Andrew?
Yes.
Okay.
Senator David Andrew.
Senator David Andrew. Okay. Let me start back.
Now I move to the second matter, the matter of the reopening of school in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And today I announced that schools on Carriacou and Petit Martinique will reopen on Monday, 30th September 2024, God willing. At this point, I want to quickly pause and thank our parents, our education officials, our principals, our teachers, contractors, regional and international volunteer agencies, and our students for their help, their patience, their support, their prayer, their contribution, and all that went into seeing us get to this point. Our team has engaged in a number of visits to Carriacou. We've had over 3 visits, continuously assessing progress. Visit last week left us very confident after engaging the contractors and monitoring the progress of the work taking place at our various schools, engaging the principals of each of those schools to work out detailed plans that we'd be in a very good position to resume schools. Now we have two secondary schools, Bishop's College and Hillsborough Secondary, and both of those schools, well, let me say, all the schools will be open with varying degrees of adjustments, adaptations, and nuances based on the state of the repairs taking place at the various schools. So, but all of the schools we anticipate will be open. We are assured that all of the major areas that are necessary for the operation of schools will be available, will be accessible. We can go into detail if necessary to talk about each school and where the reconstruction or refurbishment work is, but I'll spare us that detail only to say that the visit did leave us very confident with the contractors and the principals that the schools will be ready and the major functional areas would be available for the operation of schools. So we have 2 secondary schools, we have 6 primary schools, and we have, I think it's 7 pre-primary schools. And as I said, these are 2 schools that were most seriously affected. One was totally destroyed and the other most seriously affected compared to all of the other schools. Now, there is a plan to use tents there, and I'm going to ask PS Francois to share a bit more detail on those 2 schools and the plan to use the tents and how that is likely to pan out for Dover government, which was totally demolished, and for Mount Pleasant government. Yes.
Thank you, Minister, and thanks to the viewing public on this press briefing. So, with regard to Dover, as we would recall, during the passage of Beryl, Dover School was completely demolished, and so the plan now is to restart Dover on the 30th of September, like the other schools, by the installation of a tent on the grounds of the Windward Preschool. Only last Friday, we were on the ground there together with the teachers in charge and the acting principal of Dover, and we were together with the contractors, and we were laying out how we are going to outfit the tent. We have the tent in our possession, 2 tents that were donated by UNICEF, and we intend to install the tent on the grounds of the Windward Preschool for Dover, and so the students will be housed there. For Mount Pleasant, we have also met with the principal, and again we have identified the area, and I can tell you the plans, the preparation have started on the ground there to prepare for the installation of the tent to start school there on the 30th. So all in all, we want to take the opportunity to thank UNICEF in particular. Persons might be asking, and I know there are some concerns about the tent, but we have been assured and we have seen models of the tent. The tents are well ventilated. They were particularly designed and constructed for schools. And so we are confident that, and the principals themselves are excited that they're in a position to be able to restart school. Thank you.
Thank you, PS. And I think it's noteworthy to bear in mind that washroom facilities will be catered for. Flushable toilets will be catered for both at the Windward Preschool facility where we'll be housing Dover. I think temporary flushable toilet facilities are contracted to be installed within the period. That is being worked on as we speak. And at the Mount Pleasant location, even though the tents will be used, there is a section of the current building where washroom facilities are available, and those are being cleaned, repaired, and refitted just to make sure that proper washroom facilities are available at both locations for students. So all of the other schools, despite having some degree of a repair that will take probably another few weeks, will be ready. And in discussion with all of the preschools, and we know we don't anticipate that that will project for beyond the end of the term, and so they'll be back to pretty regular accommodations for their students. So we ask for your continued patience and understanding as we roll out education and schooling for students on Carriacou and Petit Martinique to ensure that we resume a sense of normalcy. So what's going to happen in the coming week, I can tell you, we have been in discussion with the Ministry of Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs to have the shelteries moved into another location, because that was one of the challenges we had. And we've been given good assurances that within this week, or by the end of this week, the shelteries will be relocated. There's some ongoing discussions taking place with other ministries to ensure that that happens. Once this happens, it leaves us with the following week to do deep cleaning and sanitizing of the schools. Now, that's very important, because where the schools were used as shelters, they were used in manners that traditionally they wouldn't be used. And we have a need to secure the health and well-being of our nation's students. So the schools are going to be sanitized. We were in discussions with the school principals and contractors already lined up for cleaning and sanitizing the schools deeply. In fact, in some schools, that process has already started. So we're ahead in that regard. So that's going to continue happening. There are two other issues that I will ask a CEO to talk about. The issue of psychosocial support for teachers, which is ongoing, but CEO will speak to that and the plan for the week ahead and engaging students, as well as the uniform distribution and assistance, which we are prepared to escalate within the coming week, so that all our students would be in a very good place to resume on Carriacou. So CEO, the uniform assistance.
So we can all appreciate that with the passage of Hurricane Beryl, that everyone has suffered some kind of negative impact from the passage of the storm. And therefore, before we can delve back into the regular life of teaching and learning, it is important for us to provide psychosocial support, not only for teachers and students, but also for our school leaders. And last week, prior to last week, we, on the northern tip of the island, that opportunity was provided for our teachers and school leaders in the northern part of the island. It was coordinated by the student support team from the Ministry of Education, and by all reports, it went very well. The teachers, the principals, school leaders who participated gave a lot of commendation to the team for the timely execution of the session. And the same thing happened last week. During the week of September 19th to the 13th, a team of 4 counselors, counseling supervisors from the Ministry of Education traveled to Carriacou. On Wednesday, they conducted 2 days psychosocial session with the Ministry of Education staff in Carriacou and the principals and teachers in charge. Again, the report from the team was that very similar to the ones from Grenada. The sessions were welcome and they were well received by the participants. During this week, the week of September 16th to the 21st, beginning maybe by Wednesday, this session will continue with teachers and workers in Carriacou and Petit Martinique.
We encourage all our teachers and workers at our schools in both Carriacou and PT Martin to participate fully in these sessions, since they are organized to provide the kind of specialized support for you, our teachers. The Ministry of Education is also collaborating with the Franciscan Institute, based in Trinidad, specialized in trauma and post-disaster support, and of course, as you have heard, with UNICEF to provide this support not only to our teachers, but the team from the Franciscan Institute will be joining the local team at the end of this week, the beginning of next week, to continue work with teachers and our students in Carriacou and PT Martinique. So as indicated earlier, the team of officers we were on the ground in Carriacou, officers from the ministry and from the Ministry of Infrastructure, and the goal of the visit was to meet with principals, contractor, maintenance persons, the Ministry of Carriacou and PT Martinique Affairs, and to assess the readiness of the schools in Carriacou for reopening. And one of the areas that we focus on was the uniform program. As you are aware from the last press conference, structures were put in place for the persons in Carriacou, families, students in Carriacou, to receive the uniform assistance from the Ministry of Education. All the students in Carriacou have been invited to register. They have done so. We have received the registration forms. The Ministry of Education right now is processing these forms, and they're going to generate a QR code that will be returned to the families in Carriacou. We have 2 vendors in Carriacou who have graciously come forward to provide the service, the provision of uniform service to the families and students in Carriacou. And there's one other vendor that we have been collaborating with here on the ground in Grenada who has agreed to go to Carriacou at the opportune time to be part of to be available for the uniform distribution program. So that has gone very well. And even as we speak, we have persons on the ground in the Ministry of Education importing data into the computer to ensure that we can deliver the uniform to our brothers and sisters in Carriacou in a timely manner. So that's it.
Thank you, CEO. And so I think that covers most of the matters. I'll just reiterate that we will have schools opened in Carriacou and PT Martinique on Monday, 30th September 2024. And we have been working with principals and teachers in charge to have all students prioritizing the exit grades and making the adaptations to accommodate the preschools within the settings in the meantime, while we continue the repairs on the other buildings that would see full capacity restored within the term. I thank you very much, and we are open for questions.
Okay, so there we had it. Koi?
Yeah, correct.
Comprehensive report.
Yeah.
Touching all the areas, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, Kim, I'm concerned about a couple of things here. One, you know, even after the press conference, and we put it live, and so that people can hear and understand. You know, I met some people who are still saying they don't know what is going on, and want to create a talk about nothing happening. I mean, well, I'm amazed that while the information is out there, people refusing to listen and understand. Sometimes they listen, but they don't understand. Yeah, so we have to we have to get my past there. But people still trying to say, well, they know what's going on, and this ain't happening. And I mean, it amazes me. I'm saying it's a concern I have.
Yeah, this is something I noticed, in our society today, is that many things of the nature, they're not really concerned about it,
No.
You in other words, all you have to do is find out. There is a lot of media sources out there that they can use. if they really want to.
You don't really want to know.
But they don't. For some reason, they seem like more involved in some of this
Millie.
on WhatsApp and Facebook and things like that, and
Yeah.
things of importance.
I don't understand.
Listen to your news, listen to the radio, find out whatever, ask a question or something of the nature.
Yeah.
But they're not interested in that, and then they're quick to say, "Oh, I ain't nothing, no. I ain't see nothing. I don't know what to do, whatever."
Yeah.
Find out.
Yeah.
That's
No,
it.
but
That's all.
I'm glad that we are here to explain to the fact that, listen, school is going to be reopening. I mean,
Yes.
These are not normal times. You'll find some hiccups here and there. All they're looking for is hiccups. Yeah, all they're listening to here is hiccups. Not understanding these are not normal times, and we have to adjust and readjust.
Well, if you look at the preparation that's been made, because they had to come up with solutions,
Yeah.
quick solutions in right now, and move forward from there. But because education is important, but they still sometimes can't appreciate and give some kudos, to what has been done to make sure that the kids go back to school in a timely manner. And maybe sometimes, you wonder what is the motive. But I listened to the situation that they have inside of Dover. And, this is something I was looking forward to for the longest while. What will they do for those in Dover? Were they going to bust them out of the Dover community and maybe try to accommodate them in another school? Or maybe they were going to make some sort of a temporary changes on the ground or whatever. And the idea of bringing it into the preschool area in Wynwood, I think, was a great idea.
Yeah, the tents.
The tents, yeah.
The tents.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, take for example, in situations when things are really bad, they could build hospitals with a tent.
Yes.
I mean, it's the care service that is important.
Yes, and what's taking place under the tent.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so with the idea of tent in Dover, for Dover and Mount Pleasant, while things have been settled down, is a very a good idea.
Yeah.
I think we need to support that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And parents and as I said, students, the learning process is not about the physical building only. It's about you engaging in what is being taught. I mean, it would not be easy for a little while, but we have to learn to brace ourselves in circumstances as these. Parents, support your children. Teachers, support your students. I mean, we had to bring our mindset to that. These are not normal times, and we need to support each other at this time. Next year, this time, if we had no hurricane or no other disaster, things would not be the same. It will change.
And speaking about it, you just made a point there, which just remind me of a comment that was made to me, in that not the building that is so important, but it's the service that's been provided there. And somebody said to me during just after the hurricane that they did an operation, not anything serious anyway, but was done under
the tent
in the what they call the field hospital.
Right?
And they were very, very happy that was done. You just imagine that, because they wanted the service.
Yes.
And that was the bottom line.
And it is a service that is important.
Right.
Even though you are in a physical place where building, I mean, what you need really and truly is the service. Yeah, the service. And so we have to also take that into consideration and understand.
Yeah. It is very, very important, that we remember that, and make sure that we understand exactly what's going on and what services are provided. And this will be in a better situation to get the service and make sure that the kids get an education as well. Okay. And in the case with Dover, all the services, like talk about toilets and all the things that will be provided. Just imagine that.
Yes. All these services are going to be done. Yeah. And so it is important for us to come up to the plate at this time and understand the process. Yeah. I mean, we understand sometimes people sit under trees and learn. Yeah. Sometimes people sit under trees and learn. So what is important is for us to understand the situation. I think we all should understand the situation. We knew and we are aware that all these things all the destruction that was that we had here with as a result of Hurricane Beryl. Yeah, those things are there, but the circumstances is what it is, and so we need to brace ourselves and ensure that we create an environment for children to learn, as well as parents. We need to create an environment where parents should take the lead here and understand that we are in this and we'll try to see how we can get out of it. But at the same time, teach our children. Yeah. I mean, learning under electricity and learning under lamp. I mean, so because it's lamp, you wouldn't learn. Because it's lamp, you wouldn't see. I'm just saying. You see, the situation came.
Yeah.
We have to go past this thing. Eh? Because we didn't have lamp, we didn't have electricity then. Yeah. Because we didn't have electricity then, that it means that we couldn't learn. Lamp and lantern and masanto and all these things and so on. We used. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
what we learn, and I think the emphasis has to be on the learning process.
Yeah.
And parents, teachers, let's understand that we have to help. Teachers have to help their students. Of course, the teachers need help too. Yeah, support as well. But parents have to instill in their children, hey, listen, this is what it is, and you can still learn two and two and get the correct answer for under a tent.
You don't make a difference. Okay, go ahead. Okay, listen. We have an emergency just popping up here because the service providers are here to upgrade our service.
Oh.
We don't have our landline phones, we don't have the internet and nothing of the nature. And they are here right now, and they are here to install the service. I mean, it's very unfortunate that we'd have to terminate the program for a while. Hopefully, they'll be finished, in time for us to continue. But we want our listeners to understand, please bear with us. This is not normal times. This is abnormal times, and we have to, make changes where changes need to be made, okay? So at this point in time, what we're going to do, we're going to just have to terminate the program for a little while. Hopefully, we could continue a little bit later on. But in the meantime, we're going to apologize for you, our listeners, who have online with us, so many of them, and we are unable to continue at this time. We have to pause, as we sometimes say, pause for the cause. Circumstances beyond our control. We do appreciate your understanding in this matter.